Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back. Before this video begins, I just want to address that I understand how late this video actually had come out, as I did plan to record it almost a month ago. However, a lot of personal stuff has been going on and I'm not even able to share all of it with you, but I just wanted you guys to know that I really did want this video to come out sooner and that I'm truly sorry it didn't. With that said, I would like to take a moment to shout out Alex, Hurbious, and Jaish once again. I'll credit them on screen for their appropriate trick finds and stuff that is featured in this video. However, I just simply wanted to say thank you, not only for all of your guys' help with getting these videos out, but also just your patience with how busy I could be sometimes, or simply having to take the time to teach me something in order to fully teach it to you guys through the form of a video. Seriously though, you guys know how much Alex, Jaish, and Herb do here on this channel, so seriously give them some love down below. Some actual legends. As well, shout out to Jaish and agentanti for their railgun guide document that will be linked down below as well. They've been so kind as to allow me to post it in the description. As well, just a heads up before getting into this video, some stuff to know about the setup. Now, a couple things that I just want you guys to know about the setup before going into the video is number one, if you do have the Dreamer's birthday cake, which I assume most of you would as it only came out a couple months ago, is I did not include it in the setup as some people have been debating whether it is actually retired or not, so I just figured I'd leave it up to you guys. The setup does make enough without it. However, if you feel like you're struggling or whatever, then you can simply put it in this corner. However, you will have to move this platform that the Empyrean is on over this way a little bit to fit it. However, it will fit in this corner once you move it. Something I'd like to mention as well really quick is that I do only own a single Leopardtron, so I could only use one Leopardtron in this video. You should be using two, and while this spot will hit 4 to 5 at least every time, you're still going to be missing potentially 3 extra beams, so I would encourage trying to find a spot for your second, as that will just potentially be the difference between 19 and 20 skips. With that said as well, this setup does require at least 2 layouts, so you will have to be using split, and the reason is because of your Dreamer's Terror. You're going to need something to make money for the shop items in the setup, so just something to keep in mind as well is that you will be forced to play with 2 layouts. And as well, you will have to take some time to set up a load order to get things to work properly. And as well, you will need to be pulling a consistent 100 plus FPS due to green tea latte, so just something to consider in this video. With that all said for this intro, let's get into the video. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do to start our first line is get 2 Heart of the Voids out. We're going to go ahead and put them in the corner over here. Next, go ahead and get out a standard platform and put it 1 unit away from the Heart of the Void, so that way you have this 1 unit gap in between. Next, let's go ahead and get out our Angel's Blessing. We can go ahead and put this over in the corner, and then we're going to go 1 unit this way and 1 unit this way, just so that way we have a 1 unit gap on these 2 sides. Next, we're going to go ahead and get out our Soapy Refiner, so we could go ahead and just put this right over here. Then we could follow this up with our Dragon Cannon right here. Next, go ahead and get out the Mechanism. We're going to go ahead and put this right like here, so that way it is kind of tucked in with the Dragon Cannon and the Soapy Refiner. Next, go ahead and get out your Receiver of Choice. Now go ahead and just get down a platform and just put it on the ground. Next, go ahead and get out a Havium Mine. You can go ahead and put it in the corner. Next, go ahead and place down your Havium to do your Havium inline. If you're unsure what that looks like, you basically want to put the tip or drop part of the dropper in the mouth of the Dragon Cannon, so that way if we send some ores through, they are just sent out immediately. Next, go ahead and get out a hydraulic platform. Then go ahead and just put a small platform in the corner. Then go ahead and get out your Astral Setter. Put it on top right here in the corner as well. Pick up the platform and then align it just like this, and then make it so the small platform with the astral setter is 1 unit higher than the platform that contains the soapy refiner and the dragon cannon and stuff, so this should be your result. Next, go ahead and get out another hydraulic platform. This time we're going to go 1 unit higher than the small platform over here, and we're going to offset it by 3. What I mean is, if you look at where the platform currently is, we're going to put it 3 to the left. So 1, 2, 3, place, and then we're going to put another one right over here. First, we're going to go ahead and place down a walrus blaster right here in this corner, then followed up by a clover refiner, and then a cybeg right behind it, just like this, so it is kind of stuck inside the dragon cannon mouth. Next, we're going to place down Garden of Gaia. You could simply just place this one in the corner over here, closest to the Walrus Blaster. Next, get down another hydraulic platform. Then, go ahead and put down a Turtle Dignifier on top in the corner. Then, pick up the platform, set the height to be 1 above the Garden of Gaia platform, and just place down the Turtle Dignifier right after the Garden of Gaia, just like this. Next, get down a hydraulic platform. Next, go ahead and get down a quantum clockwork and put it backwards. Pick up the platform, and you just want to do what you did with the Turtle Dignifier, and just set the platform height to be 1 higher than the Turtle Dignifier platform, and then place the quantum clockwork to be right after the Turtle Dignifier. However, just remember that the quantum clockwork does need to go backwards. Next, go ahead and get out Swag City. Next, go ahead and get out Fright Folly and put it next to your quantum clockwork. Next, get out the 3 Christmas ghosts. You could follow this up with Tropical Breeze and Cupid's Arrow right on the side. Next, go ahead and get out another hydraulic platform. Then go ahead and get out a non-shiny green tea latte and put it down in the corner just like this. Next, go ahead and put down a Reaper's Fortress next to it just like this. Then in front of them, you will place down a Excellent Upgrader just like this. And then on the side, you could go ahead and put down Energy Core. Next, pick up the platform and set it to 2 height under the previous platform holding our quantum clockwork. So we're going to go down at 1 and 2. Then we're simply going to align the conveyor for the Excellent Upgrader with the Tropical Breeze and just place it down just like this. This also may be a good point to make sure that your ores are going through everything as they should be. Just make sure everything's being done correctly. Next, go ahead and get out another hydraulic platform, place it right after the previous platform, and just 1 unit higher than said platform. Then, perfectly under that platform, we're just going to place one on the floor, just like this. Next, go ahead and get out a backwards meatball sandwich, and just put it in the corner, just like this. Next, go ahead and get out another dragon cannon, and put it right over here. Then you could go ahead and get out your big bunny, and then put that over here as well. Alright, next, go ahead and get out your Midas Blaster, and put it all the way over here, next to the Dragon Blaster. And lastly, get your final Fabergé and put it as close to all of these items as you can over in this little corner. Next, we're going to need to make our turn. So in order to do this, get your Renegade Behemoth Blossom, make sure it is facing the same direction as mine, and we're going to put it all the way along this side of the platform with a 1 unit gap over here. So it's kind of just perfectly aligned in the middle, just like that. And now, if I pulse, I should have a successful turn. Next, we need to set up our platforms for our Mad Monster Smelters. To do that, go ahead and get out a hydraulic standard platform and set it to a height of 5. Then get out another one and just put it next to it, just like this. Now, go to the other side, and then in this corner right over here, place down 3 Mad Monster Smelters as closely together as possible. Now, if I pulse again, I should see some explosions in the middle of the line, meaning that these are hitting and working. Now, before we move on to our second line, we need to set up our fireplace walls for our teleporter centering. Make sure that you have a fireplace wall with the decorations sticking out like this, and go ahead and just align it like so that way the chimneys are sticking through the same spot as mine on your receiver. So you should have this little lane sticking down the middle of your receiver now. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the first line. It's honestly not too bad, and to be truthful, this setup is not going to be much harder than building something like this. It will get a little difficult, but albeit nothing too bad. Alright, next for our second line, we're going to go ahead and get a platform and set it to the same height as our previous turn platform, so the dragon cannon platform, and just have a 1 unit offset, just like this, so you should have this little offset right over here. Next, go ahead and get out your Maryland sorcery and just put it in the corner as close to the dragon cannon as possible. Next, we need to get down a platform and set the height to 2. It could be placed anywhere on the base right now. Next, get out your Empyrean Monument and put it all the way along the edge like this. Center it and set the height all the way to the maximum. Next, pick up your platform with your Empyrean Monument and push the Empyrean Monument as far close to the Maryland sorcery as possible. You should also notice that it will be raised, however, it should be hitting just like this. Next, we need to get out another hydraulic platform and set the height to be 1 under the bottom of our Empyrean Monument. So as you can see, I can't go any higher. Before you place it, you need to make sure that there's actually a 1 unit gap between this platform and our Maryland sorcery. So as you can see here, they are not touching. They have this 1 unit gap in between. Then on the side of our Empyrean Monument, you can actually put down a portable pearl enhancer. Next, get out your executive pillars, followed up by a rainbow refiner. Then on top, put down an anti-gravity scanner right above the two, just like this. Or should be going through the anti-grav scanner, just like this. Then you can go ahead and just put down a ruby crystallizer right after. Now we need to get a platform out for our portable upgraders. What we're going to do is we're going to get out a platform and set the height to be 1 above the platform with the ruby crystallizer. And then we're going to put it all the way in the corner next to all of these items, tucked next to our Empyrean Monument as well, just like this. Here you could get down the Darkest Upgrader and put it just like so, as well as a Orbital Upgrader, and then a Soul Blossom. Next, get out another platform, set it to the same height as the platform with our Ruby Crystallizer, and we're just going to place it down right after, offset by 3, so just like this. Next, we need to get down our satellite beam. To do this, just go ahead and get down satellite beam, make sure it's rotated in the same way as mine, and place it with a 1 unit gap between that and the Soul Blossom. Next, you'll need to get down a hydraulic duality refiner. Go ahead and just put this right on top of your satellite beam. Next, go ahead and get out a ion field. Place it so that way the upgrade beam is kind of right after the satellite beam, so just kind of like this. Next, go ahead and get out a alien relic. Make sure you set it backwards and place it right over here along this side, just like this. Next, go ahead and place down Enchanted Library. Now we're going to need to get out another hydraulic standard platform and set it to the same height as this platform with a 1 unit offset, just like this. Here we could place down a pizza list. Now go ahead and get down another ion field and put it in the corner next to your pizza list and Enchanted Library. Next, you'll need to get down a deluxe beehive. Go ahead and place it down right over here, just like this. Next, get out another hydraulic standard platform and set the height to be 1 above the previous platform. Then just kind of overlay it like this as far as you can and place it down. We could start first by getting out a legendary peppermint and make sure it is placed backwards all the way in the corner over here. Next, go ahead and get out a dragon cannon and place it right here. Then follow this up with the boy. And then next to all of these, you can put down Methuselah's mask. Next, underneath our cannon platform, we're going to need to get down another platform. Go ahead and perfectly underneath it, set this platform to a height of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once you've placed down your platform, go ahead and get out a Darkseed tree. I'm going to rotate this 3 times, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to place it underneath on this platform, just like this, from where I'm at. And then if I pulse, I should now have a successful second turn. Now we're going to need to set up our 1 Leprechaun, as I only have 1. However, to do this, we're going to place a platform down on the ground, followed up by a small platform in this corner, and then 1 unit offset this way. And then you could simply just place a Leprechaun over in this corner. Next, set the height of the small platform to be the same height as the Dragon Cannon platform, and then place them just like this, so they're kind of perfectly aligned together, just like this. And as you guys can see, this does hit most of the Leprechaun beams up to, I believe, 5. However, it is still enough for the setup to make as much money as it needs to. Now, it's time to start setting up for our Mad Monstrous Melters again. Go ahead and just start with a platform on the base, and then put a Mad Monstrous Melter over here in the corner. Pick up the platform and go over to our Behemoth Blossom by our first turn. You're going to align the platform just as you see it over here, so it should not be placeable as of right now. And then we're going to raise it by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then, if I place, it should work, and we should now have a Mad Monstrous Melter right underneath our Maryland Sorcery. As well, you can also tell that it is hitting and working. Next, go ahead and get out 2 more platforms over here, and then in this corner, you're going to get down 3 Mad Monstrous Melters. Pick up both platforms and set the height to 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, I'm going to go over to this part of the line over here, and I'm going to simply align it just like this right over here. Next, we need to get 14 of our total 16 portable tractor beams out. Just go ahead and get one out. Then go over to your legendary peppermint and go to the corner and set the height all the way to the maximum. Place it, and then place as many underneath as you can. Next, above our dragon cannon, right next to these, we're going to do the exact same. This time we could fit a total of 5, however. 4, 5. And now we're going to do the same over here above our deluxe beehive and our pizza list. So 1, 2, 3. And then lastly over here, we're going to put 2 more above our pizza list again, 1 and 2. So once you're done, you should have something that looks like this. You should have 2, 3, 5, and then a 4 stacked just like this over here. And that is it for our second line, actually. There's honestly not a whole lot left. The third line is pretty easy, and honestly, if you've made it this far, you shouldn't have to worry too much. There's not a whole lot left of any tedious building. There's a little bit, but not too much. All right, now we're going to start our third and final line. 4 units under the Dragon Cannon platform over here, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to offset it to the left by 4 units. Next, go over to the corner over here and put down Big Fungus. Then go ahead and get out Virtual Gearwork, turn it around, set it to be right above your Big Fungus, and then we're going to offset it to the left by 1 and then to the back 1, just like this. So it should be as close as possible to all of these things, and then 1 unit to the left over here, so not shoved in the corner. Next, we need to get a platform for our ion fields. So start with a hydraulic platform, get a small platform and put it in the corner over here. Then put 2 ion fields side by side next to each other, just like this. Now this is a bit of an awkward placement, so do keep in mind that my explanation might not be the best, but we're gonna go ahead and align this as close to the platform with our dragon cannon as well as our big fungus as possible. Then the small platform needs to be at this height, so there's that 1 unit gap between the fungus platform and the small platform with our ion fields, and then we're just going to place it right in the corner over here, just like this. Again, there should be this gap between the 2 platforms. However, this should be shoved as far into this corner as possible, so that should help align this, but yeah, I don't have a very good explanation for this one. Next, go ahead and get out another hydraulic platform and put it on the base. Then get a small platform and put it in the corner. Now we're going to put a glass butterfly just like this, then a orbital upgrader. Pick up the platform and then set the height of the hydraulic platform to be 1 above the big fungus platform. And then you're going to place it as close to big fungus as possible with a 3 unit offset just like this. Now we're actually going to do something just a little bit in advance and set up one platform for our Mad Mantra smelters. Here, we're going to get this platform and set it 2 units above the big fungus platform down here. So just like this, and then you will place it with a 1 unit gap between the small platform, just like this. So here is what the result should look like. And then on top of this, you're going to put another platform directly on top, 2 above the small platform, so you have that 1 unit gap between the two, just like this. Simply, all you need to do is pick up this platform over here, raise it by 1, then pick up the platform that's on top and lower it by 1. Then pick up the entire thing and simply just put it back where it was. Now, we're going to get out a few more platforms, but we're going to go 1 above this platform over here, as you can see, and we're going to offset it to the right by 3. So we're going to go 1, 2, and 3, and then place. And then we're going to undo that offset in the next platform, just like this, at the same height. And then this last platform is actually going to go back down 1 unit again. So here you should be able to see all of these the same way as me. Now, we're going to need to put some platforms on top of these. However, these all need to be 1 above this platform I'm currently standing on, so it should be something like this. However, make sure that this last platform is at the same height as these, despite this one down here being 1 lower. Now, go ahead and get out Utopian Refiner right over here. Then you could follow this up with Dreamer's Life right after. After this, we're going to get our temporal out and put it backwards right over here. Then you can follow this up with an ore evaluator, and then a statue of knowledge over here on the side. Then go ahead and put down a Devourer of Nightmares. Next, you're going to need to get another hydraulic duality refiner. However, we're going to place this as close to our temporal as possible and up by 2. You should have a result that looks like this, and it should be hitting the beam before the ore evaluator as well. Next, we could follow this up with a Tesla refuter, another ore evaluator, the final upgrader, another ore evaluator, Jaishrl, and your correct matching teleporter senders. Now, we're not done just yet. Before we set our ore evaluators, as we will probably do that last, we need to not only place down our Mad Mantra melters, however, we also need to get out Dreamcatcher and our Dreamer's items. Let's start with our Dreamer's items. I'm going to go ahead and head over to the corner and place down my Anguish, my Dreamer's Might, my Shiny Dreamer's Might, my Shiny Dreamer's Blight, and my normal Dreamer's Blight. You don't have to use these exact ones, however, these are the 5 that I'm using. Next, we're going to just start by placing a platform down right on our base. Then go ahead and get out a Diamond Breach Loader and just place it anywhere. We just really need to get the hitbox height. Then get another hydraulic platform, set it to the highest possible height above the Diamond Breach Loader, and then place it. Next, go ahead and get a Dreamcatcher and put it as close to the edge, perfectly centered like this as possible. Next, pick up your Diamond Breach Loader again and place it like so. And then in the back over here, we're going to need another Angel's Blessing and just place it right behind. As you can see, this will actually be enough to charge our Dreamcatcher. Then pick up the entire thing and raise it by 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now this will be a little bit annoying to align correctly. However, I'm actually focusing on those upgrade beams that you could see to align this properly. However, the final beam should be pretty close to the Tesla, and the second to last beam should kind of be over here by the eval. So if we let this charge up and you could see those beams again, you should have placed it pretty much at the same spot as me. But again, I'm using these beams to align where I place it, so just keep that in mind. Next, we're going to need to place our final 3 Mad Mantra smelters. These are actually very easy to do, as we already have the platforms for them. We just need to place them down in the right spots. To do this, we're going to go over to this platform over here and place one in the corner, and then another next to it, and then one right next to that, right down here as well. All this really did was just raise the Mad Monster Smelter to be below our Dreamer's Life. Now it's time to do our ore evaluators. Your first ore evaluator over by the Devourer of Nightmares needs to be set to be greater than 1 NON GNTL. The second ore evaluator over here after our Tesla Refuter is set to 1 less than QDDR. And then our final ore evaluator right before our dystrophy is set to 1 less than SXGNTL. Lastly, we need to get down our Cupcakium wall. To do this, we're just going to go all the way over to the back, turn our Cupcakium, and place it. And lastly, before the setup is fully finished, we need to set up our Dreamer's Terror platform. To do this, go ahead and just start by getting out a Dreamer's Terror. Then go ahead and get out a platform, align it just like this, and set the height to 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Next, get out another Devourer of Nightmares, and we're going to go over to this corner, go 1, 2, 3 forward, and 1, 2, 3 to the right. Then place it. Next, this is how we're going to get the final amount of push and upgrade. However, for those of you that don't know, the Dreamer's Terror leaves can be shoved into the receiver and to kind of get jammed between the teleporter centering, so we could actually use these leaves as a ×66 portable upgrader. To do that, all we need to do is surround our Devourer of Nightmares with some teleporter senders. And yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for this setup. There's really not anything else that's left, and that pretty much just summarizes how to finish building the setup. Again, you should have a second Leprotron if possible, and as well, if for some reason you're still just barely not making enough money, you could put probably another orbital upgrader along the side over here of your ore evaluator just to try to throw another in. Albeit, if you set up your Dreamer's Terror properly, you should not have any issue getting 20 skips with the setup the way it is. However, you probably won't be getting this effect during testing, as you could not see any ores over here at all from the Dreamer's Terror, so I'm not getting those ×66 portables right now, as you could see. Now, something to keep in mind before you could actually use this setup is two things. One, you'll need to use split, meaning you'll need to divide the setup into 2 layouts, one with the first line and your moneymaker, and then the second layout or third layout with the rest of your layout and the shop items. However, you'll also need to set up a load order. For those of you that don't know what load order is, you could see a much more in-depth guide on it in our endgame guide part 3. However, basically, when you save a layout, the game decides to save the base in the same order that you built it. So you could force some items to load before other items to make sure that they could activate before the other items do. In a setup like this, you're going to need to prioritize your Havium. However, you're also going to need to prioritize your Green Tea Latte and your Quantum Mid-Plat. These really need to load first, as they are just some of the higher priority things in the setup. However, after that, you're going to need to load in your Dreamer's Terror trick over here. However, at all times, you just need to make sure that your receiver is loading after the senders that are placed around the Devourer, just so that way the senders could load first, then the receiver. Otherwise, it just does not work properly. However, the terror trick is just a bit finicky, and getting the load order to work properly may take you some trial and error. It did for me. However, at some point, it should just click and just start working. With that said, thank you again to everyone involved in this video. Huge thank you again to Jaish, Alex, and Hurbious for just all of their help and also just their patience. I'm often fairly busy, so finding the time to record stuff can be really tedious, especially with everything that's been going on in my personal life right now. But for these guys to not only continue to help me despite what's been going on, but also to just be extremely easy to work with and just super patient, you guys are absolute legends, and I simply can't do enough to make it up to you guys. With that said, expect some new content hopefully soon. I am actively working on a couple of videos as we speak, so I will do my best to get those out as soon as possible. However, that said, that's probably it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys soon. Take care, peace out, bye-bye.